Black history, Black past, Black present, Black future. Hi, you guys. This is Denise D. Cooper. I want to thank everybody for subscribing and liking this channel and also taking this journey with me on Black History Month. 28 days of 365 days thinking and being Black, right? It's not just for me, and it's not just for all the brown and beautiful Black mahogany people in America. It is for you. It is for me. It's for all of us, right? So we got a poem today. We also have 2 books on Selma. We also have a really nice book that I'm going to show you the cover of, and it's going to remind you of an artist that we've already featured. And it's really cool that he's on the cover, and I think you guys will like it because you really seem to like that artist when I mentioned it, and you guys looked it up and shared some thoughts with me. So today's artist, though, we're going to start off with the artist, and then I'm going to read a poem, and then we're going to talk about the other books that I'm going to recommend to you, right? And that I've read some of, and really doing some research into what these books are all about, and if I wanted to recommend them during this month. And I do, and they're really cool, and there's a lot of information. So let's get it going. This man, this artist is named Peyton Cole Hedgeman. Now, you may not know him by that name, but when I say his true name, you'll definitely know who it is. Some of you will. And if not, please look him up like you've been doing and really share with me in the comments. Like and subscribe to this channel if you have not. Like it so it'll go on your Facebook, on your Twitter, on everything to have everybody join in our conversation that we're having this month. So again, Peyton Cole Hedgeman, he was born January 15th, 1890. So Harlem Renaissance, right? February 18th, 1973 is when he died at age 83. And this information is very easy to look up. You just Google him like I do when I'm showing you these pictures and paintings or mentioning and name dropping these people. So continue to look them up, and you guys are finding out a lot of information and sharing it with me, and I really love that. So please continue. Now, I said his name was Peyton Cole Hedgeman. That's what he was born. That's the name he was born under. However, his name is Palmer C. Hayden, right? Palmer C. Hayden. And I was going to mention a few paintings of him that I really, truly love, but there's one where they're all kind of looking sideways. They all have pretty humongous lips. And then there's one with the kids eating the watermelon. So when you see those two, you'll know who he is. You've seen those paintings around. So just look into the other paintings and really enjoy his hand. He works in oils and watercolor. So that's all I'm going to say. But if you want to Google him under Peyton Cole, C-O-L-E, Hedgeman, H-E-D-G-E-M-A-N, you can do that, and he'll come up as Palmer C. Hayden, right? Right. All right, so really enjoy him, and I hope to find some prints one day with his work because I really love it. And I actually did a painting a long time ago with some people that were just looking far off, like his people were always looking to the side and with the beautiful full lips, like my beautiful full lips. So anyway, yeah, you know I was going to go there. You expect this right now. So anyway, my poet of the day. This poem, when this poem was read in this movie, I totally cried, and I had to buy the book so that I can read it over and over. And for years, I would read this poem, just pick it off my library shelf in my living room, and just read that poem, and then go on about my day and get sniffles or whatever. But I truly love this poem. I'm not a poet. I'm not a spoken word artist. I'm just going to read the darn poem, okay? Like I've been doing. And hopefully, those of you who know this poem will, of course, know it instantly. I mean, it's not like some little poem that's so been remote that it's just been hiding in the dust. You'll know the movie, you'll know the actors, you'll know the man, and maybe you already have his book on your shelf. If not, I suggest you add it to your shelf. And why am I reading this particular poem and featuring this poet? The reason is because I talked about Dexter King yesterday, if you got to see that. If not, please go to February 1st and catch yourself up to all the videos. It's a lot of fun. It's a good journey. But the reason is because I'm weaving one person to the next, right? Or at least some type of topic. And so yesterday, Dexter King has been on my TBR for a long time for February. And I finally am going to read it this month. But talking about Dexter King and the little small piece I read from his book and talking about his sister Bernice and how she just thought she had to be perfect, living under the umbrella of Martin Luther King. I mean, how can you do that? And so I got this feeling yesterday, and this is what made me think about this particular poem. Not that Dexter anyway felt this sad or went through what this man went through, but it just is a reminder, and it sparked a feeling from Dexter King going through all that amazing, his childhood had to be amazing. And you have to think about the King children. Every February, somebody's going to mention their father. They have to live through this all the time. And then not only in February, he's an amazing man and touched so many lives all the time. So imagine going through that and that heaviness that you must feel, or that perfection that you must feel that he was talking about his sister thought she needed to be, which none of us are going to be perfect. So I just had a little heartfelt moment after reading some of Dexter King yesterday. So, and this is what I thought about. Who will cry for the little boy? Lost and all alone, who will cry for the little boy, abandoned without his own? Who will cry for the little boy? He cried himself to sleep. Who will cry for the little boy? He never had for keeps. Who will cry for the little boy? He walked the burning sand. Who will cry for the little boy inside the man? Who will cry for the little boy who knows well hurt and pain? Who will cry for the little boy? He died again and again. Who will cry for the little boy, a good boy he tried to be? Who will cry for the little boy who cries inside of me? And so, as you all know, that is Mr. Antoine Fisher, right? Who will cry for the little boy? And the movie is utterly amazing. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And not just because Denzel's in it. But that does play a part. Anyway. So if you don't have Antoine Fisher, definitely look him up. And I'm going right on to the next thing and talking about King still. Dexter is still in my mind. So I'm thinking, well, let me talk a little bit. Or now, you're probably going, well, you just could have just bought up a book that his father wrote or something, or read one of the King poems or speeches. But remember, we've been hearing about that all the time, and there's plenty of information. Now, we're just going to, King's always going to be a part of Black History Month. You're always going to think of him. So why not continue on what others thought of him, and including his son. So this book is by Taylor Branch. It's the Pulitzer Prize winning series of the King years, historic moments in the civil rights movement. And I'm just going to touch on a little bit. And there's some pictures in here, which is really cool because you get to see pictures from back in the day. Now, this is March 21st, 1965. Voting rights demonstrators crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge, beginning a third and final attempt to march from Selma to Montgomery, right? Chapter 12 it is on this book, Crossroads in Selma, 1965. And I'm going to show you the picture, but it may not show up as good. But this is in this book, and of course it had to be. He's talking about, he's covering Selma in this book, and so there's a part in here where he's talking about there's a lot, truthfully, and I'm just going to read this part here. It says, there are more Negroes in jail with me than there are on the voting polls, or voting rolls is what he said, R-O-L-L-S. And this is Martin talking about, and this is, they call it one of King's manifestos, when he said there are more Negroes in jail with me than there are on the voting rolls. So this is the time, this is what the march is about. And you remember it's called Bloody Sunday, March 7th, 1965, Selma, right? And then what I really liked about Taylor Branch, the way this book is put together is amazing. It's just beautiful, and you can follow it very easily. And look at that beautiful picture of Martin. And he's discussing something with a very weary, as Mr. Branch says. King is with a weary President Lyndon Johnson. The Vietnam War frayed their historic alliance. So obviously some tension there, right? Or looks a little bored, don't you, Mr. Johnson? King's coming in your ear again. But anyway, what I liked about what Mr. Branch put in here that Johnson said, and some people I guess did not like, he said, and let me just go back a page because it starts here, and this is Johnson speaking, right? And he's been meeting with King several times. So it says, at times, history and fate meet a single time in a single place to shape a turning point in a man's unending search for freedom. So it was at Lexington and Concord. So it was a century ago at Appomattox. So it was last week in Selma, Alabama. So, and then he goes on to say, because it is not just Negroes, but really it's all of us, he concluded, who must overcome the crippling legacy of bigotry and injustice, and we shall overcome. Now that's Johnson listing, and it says how that people, you know, I kind of didn't like that. So this is the book, The King Years, written by Taylor Branch, and it's really well put together. I mean, it's a Pulitzer Prize winning series, and I probably look into the other books too. Now that Selma, what we have here, Selma, Lord Selma. And this is really cool because it's written, and if you see how it's written, and there's a lot of the kids' names, there's Sheyann, and so she's telling her story of what went on during this time. And there's a lot. There is a lot. There's a lot of voices in this book. And she also includes a lot of really nice pictures of that time. And can I say nice pictures about that time? Not really. But the pictures are there, meaning it's a nice addition to the story. And I really wanted to show this one, talking about Selma. This one, of course, this is a picture that I think everyone has seen at some point in their lives, especially during Black History Month. Yeah, they're marching. They're marching. And right up under it says Bloody Sunday, March 7th, 1965. The march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge begins. And then it tells who's in this picture. Okay, not going to read all of that, but I just wanted to show you that picture and how this book is put together. And the voices of the children and people around town. Sheyann, S-H-E-Y-A-N, Webb, Rachel West Nelson. Girlhood Memories of the Civil Rights Days as told to Frank Sikora. So Frank Sikora sat down with these children and got their story on Selma. Pretty cool, right? Right. Now, up next and last, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about this painter, and you guys really liked him, and this is the cover of this book that I got. Now, those of you who follow my channel and have subscribed a while ago, you saw me book haul this book, right? I got it at the library, I think a library haul. And remember, see this painting? Now you know who it is, right? Aaron Douglas from Topeka, Kansas, where I'm from, coming where I'm from, right here. The Long Walk of Freedom, or to Freedom, Runaway Slave Narratives. And so I found a way to put Kansas back in this video. Yeah, I did, because I'm the one that's doing these videos, and so a piece of me, right? You guys, hopefully you are enjoying the videos. Sorry that I'm shaking and moving around. The art in back of me is my art, and yeah. That's that. I think you've seen that piece if you follow this channel. Anyway, Black History Month, Black Past, Black Present, Black Future. Share with me your thoughts on Selma. The movie is out. If you've seen it, let me know. I haven't seen it. After looking at those books, I want to see it. Hopefully I can find somebody willing to go with me, because not everybody likes those types of movies, including me, but I really want to see it. Bye, you guys. Talk to me.